जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्योत्तर सत श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य शिला प्रभुपाद की। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्योत्तर सत श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज शिला प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नाम आचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, वृंदावन धाम, मथुरा धाम की, मायापुर धाम की, नवद्वीप धाम की, गंगा माई की, यमुना माई की, तुलसी देवी की, भक्ति देवी की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्री श्री गुरु एंड श्री गौरंग श्रील प्रभुपाद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we are reading from Canto 7. Chapter 10, text 49. Sa va ayam brahma mahad vimrgya. Sa va ayam brahma mahad vimigrya. Kaivalya nirvana sukhanubhuti. कैवल्य निर्वाण सुखानुभूति। प्रियः सुहृद वह खलु मातुलेया। प्रिया सुहृद वह खलु मातुल्य। आत्मार्हणीयो विधिकृत गुरुस च Atmarhaniyo vidikrit guruscha. Sava ayam brahma mahad vimigriya. Kaivalya nirvana sukhanubhuti. Priya surhidva khalo matulya. Atmarhaniyo vidikrit guruscha. Sava ayam brahma mahad vimrigya. Kaivalya nirvana sukhanubhuti. Priya suhridva khalo matulya. Atmarhaniyo vidikrit guruscha. Sava ayam brahma mahadvimigriya. Kaivalya nirvana sukhanubhuti. Priya suridva kalumatuleya. Atmarhaniyo vidikrit guruscha. Sava ayam brahma mahadvimigriya. Kaivalya nirvana sukhanubhuti. Priyat suhridva kalumatuleya. Atmarhaniyo vidikrit guruscha. Sava ayam brahma mahadvimigriya. Kaivalya nirvana sukhanubhuti. Kaivalya kalumatuleya. Atmarhaniyo vidikrit guruscha. Sava ayam brahma mahadvimigriya. Kaivalya nirvana sukhanubhuti. Online? Anyone? Zoom? Okay.
Ayam Brahma Mahadvimigya. Kaivalya Nirvana Sukhanubhuti. Priya Shuridva Kalumatullaya. Atmarhaniyo vidikrit guruscha.
So, that Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, Va also, I am this, Brahma, the impersonal Brahman, which is an emanation from Krishna, Mahat, by great personalities, Vimigriya, searched for, Kaivalya, oneness, Nirvana Sukha, of transcendental happiness, Anubhutihi, the source of practical experience, Priya, very very dear, Suhrid, well-wisher, va, of you, khalu, indeed, matulya, the son of a maternal uncle, atma, exactly like body and soul together, arhaniya, worshipable, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, vidikrit, yet he serves you as an order carrier, guru, your supreme advisor, cha, as well. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charan Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The impersonal Brahman is Krishna himself, because Krishna is the source of the impersonal Brahman. So you can repeat also. The impersonal Brahman is Krishna himself.
Because Krishna is the source of the impersonal Brahman.
He is the origin of the transcendental bliss
He is the origin of the transcendental bliss
sought by great saintly persons. Yet he, the Supreme Person, is your most dear friend and constant well-wisher, and is intimately related to you as the son of your maternal uncle. Indeed, he is always like your body and soul. He is worshipable, yet he acts as your servant and sometimes as your spiritual master. Purport. There is always a difference of opinion about the absolute truth. One class of transcendentalists concludes that the absolute truth is impersonal, and another class concludes that the absolute truth is a person. In Bhagavad-gītā, the absolute truth is accepted as the Supreme Person. Indeed, the Supreme Person himself, Lord Krishna, instructs in Bhagavad-gītā, Brahmano hi pratishtaham matta paratara nanyat. The impersonal Brahman is my partial manifestation, and there is no truth superior to me. That same Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, acted as the supreme friend and relative of the Pandavas, and sometimes he even acted as their servant by carrying a letter from the Pandavas to Dhṛtarāṣṭra and Duryodhana. Because Krishna was the well-wisher of the Pandavas, he also acted as Guru by becoming the spiritual master of Arjuna. Arjuna accepted Krishna as his spiritual master. Shishyaste aham shadi mam tvam prapannam. And Krishna sometimes chastised him. For example, the Lord said, Ashochayananva shochastvam pragyavadam shabhasase. While speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. The Lord also said, Kutastva kashmalam idam vishame samupasthitam. My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? Such was the intimate relationship between the Pandavas and Krishna. In the same way, a pure devotee of the Lord is always with Krishna through thick and thin. His way of life is Krishna. This is the statement of the authority Sri Narada Muni. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurau Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brinda Vaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vayevicha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. My sincere obeisances to Maharaj, Dravida Prabhu and all the assembled Vaishnavas. On the instruction of Maharaj, I am speaking today. So this is a wonderful chapter. The Science of God is the 7th canto, and chapter 10 is entitled Prahlad, the best among exalted devotees. So at this point in this chapter, we see that Yudhishthir Maharaj and Narad Muni are talking to each other. And after hearing the narration of Prahlad Maharaj and Nrsingadev, Yudhishthir Maharaj, somewhere he felt that, oh, Prahlad Maharaj is such an exalted devotee. And he got darshan of Nrsingadev, he's such a pure devotee and I am not. So Yudhishthir Maharaj is thinking like that. And Narad Muni then clarifies. And he said, no, don't worry. Pandavas have spent so much time with Krishna. Krishna has always been their, dearmost friend, as well as like their advisor, like a spiritual master. And so much time all of you have spent with Krishna that even the great personalities, they come to see all of you because you are the devotees of Krishna. So Narad Muni is then telling in more detail about Krishna, and this is described in more detail in the Laghu Bhagavatam by Rupa Goswami, this past time, the discussion between Yudhishthir Maharaj and Narad Muni. So after this, the impersonal Brahman, in the translation it is said that impersonal Brahman is Krishna himself, because Krishna is the source of the impersonal Brahman. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport explains that there is a difference of opinion about the absolute truth. One class of transcendentalists conclude that the absolute truth is impersonal, and the other class concludes that the absolute truth is a person. So in the Bhagavad-gītā also it is stated about Krishna that Brahmano hi pratishtaham, that the impersonal Brahman is actually Krishna himself. It is pratishtaham, what means that the impersonal Brahman is actually situated on Krishna's effulgence, Krishna's power, right? It is also coming from Krishna. That is Brahma Jyoti. That is the effulgence that is coming. So here it is described about the Brahma Jyoti effulgence, and then about Lord Krishna, who is also a person. And when we are talking about, Yudhishthir Maharaj and Narad Muni, so Krishna is personally present there. And Srila Prabhupada in one of the purports describes about, he compares Arjuna with Sanatan Goswami, because Sanatan Goswami asked Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu these questions, that, my dear Lord, what is the purpose of life? Who am I? First he asked, who am I? It starts from the bodily platform, right? Like, am I this body or am I this soul? But at the same time, Arjuna is asking the question, my dear Lord, I am very confused. I don't know whether I should fight this battle or not. So Srila Prabhupada explains that Sanatan Goswami is more advanced than Arjuna, because he is asking this very important question, that who am I? And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives the answer, Jivera Sarup Hoye Krishnera Nityadas. So he's... Yes. Yeah, Krishnera Tatishta Shakti Bheda Bhed Prakash. So he gives this, and this whole point of, you are not this body, you are the soul. This is the first instruction that that Krishna gives to Arjuna in the Bhagavad-gītā. Vashamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani granati paro aprani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. That my dear Arjuna, this body is like, old clothes that get worn out and then you change the clothes. Similarly, the body also is like the old cloth. And the soul changes the bodies once it gets old. So there is no lamentation for such change of, clothes or the change of body. And in this purport, very beautifully, I like this line very much. Srila Prabhupada in the second last line says, in the same way, a pure devotee of the Lord is always with Krishna through thick and thin. His way of life is Krishna, thick and thin. There may be thick in our life where we are so happy, and thin where there are anxieties, there are financial troubles, there are health troubles, there are relationship troubles. We may be worried with our own mind or body and other people or natural things. But a pure devotee is always with Krishna. He never leaves Krishna. He doesn't think, oh, Krishna, why are you doing this to me? I have chanted so many rounds, I have served you so many years, and still you are not helping me. The pure devotee doesn't think like that. He is always with Krishna. His way of life is Krishna. That is the test of a pure devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the 8th verse of Shiksha-ashtakam, Yatha tatava vidadhato lampato mat pranathastu sayavnapra. My dear Lord, whatever you do with me, whether you give me darshan, you do not give me darshan, or however you treat me, I will always be yours. You will always be my worshipable object. I will always worship you through thick and thin of my life. And yes, there will be difficulties in life, there will be challenges, which will come later. We'll just follow this purport and then I can explain it. So, here it is said that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, acted as the supreme friend and relative of the Pandavas. And sometimes he even acted as the servant by carrying a letter from the Pandavas to Dhṛtarāṣṭra and Duryodhana. So as we know, Kunti Maharani is the mother of Arjuna and the Pandavas. And her brother is Vasudev, whose son is Krishna. So therefore, they are maternally, that's how they are related. Therefore, it is said in this word, Matuleya, the son of maternal uncle. So Krishna, that is how it is related. And many times Krishna has been, chastised by Pandavas. Sometimes they joke with Krishna, they eat with Krishna. Sometimes they will do something which, a relationship between a friend and a friend. So all those things happened between Krishna and the Pandavas. And in one of these chapters of Bhagavad-gītā, where Krishna shows his Virat Rupa, Arjuna is begging, forgiveness from Krishna, saying, oh my dear Krishna, I have joked with you, I have eaten with you, and I have done so many things, but you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And but Krishna doesn't, care about it, because Krishna is the well-wisher and friend of everybody. So Krishna just takes it lightly because he's a spiritual master, and at the same time he's a friend. So such a beautiful analogy Prabhupada has given, that Krishna was the well-wisher of all the Pandavas. Not only Pandavas, all the living entities. Suhridam sarva bhutanam, gyatva mam shantim richati, the peace formula. So Krishna is in the heart of each and everyone as the localized Paramatma. We have Karanodakshai Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu and Shirodakshai Vishnu, which expands as the Paramatma, the Lord within us, and he never leaves us. Even if we do anything wrong, those who are even atheists or agnostics or of a different faith, still Krishna is there with each and every one of them. He loves everyone. So, and he also acted as the Guru by becoming the spiritual master of Arjuna. So we all know that Arjuna accepted Krishna as the spiritual master. And Krishna did not speak anything. It is a point worth noting in the Bhagavad-gītā that in the first chapter and to some extent in the second chapter and first 12 verses, Arjuna is lamenting, and he's giving so many reasons to Krishna that why I don't want to fight, because of sinful reaction, because of he's so compassionate, because of destruction of dynasty, because I do not want to enjoy anything the kingdom without my relatives. So many reasons he is giving. But Krishna did not speak anything. And when Arjuna surrendered to him, that, my dear Lord, now I don't know what to do. I am totally bewildered and confused. Now please help me. Shishyaste ham shadimam tum prapanna. Now I am your surrendered servant and disciple. Now you help me. So very important point here is about the hunger. Just like in Ayurveda it is said, you should not eat until you feel hungry. Because the fire of digestion, if it is not there, how can it digest the food? And if the food is not digested, it will just sit there and rot, and it can create disease. So similarly, unless there is a hunger within us to acquire knowledge, to ask questions, we cannot actually digest that knowledge and actually imbibe it within our heart and transform our lives. So that hunger is also very important. And hunger comes from Atato Brahma Jigyasa, from asking questions. Who am I? Why am I here? That is the first aphorism of the Vedanta Sutra. Right? And all these questions are coming because we want to be happy. Every living entity is looking for happiness. And in search of happiness, we ask all these questions. And whatever hindrance we get in our pursuit to happiness, those are all sufferings. So when he asked this question, Krishna chastised him. So spiritual master, when he chastises, we should accept it as a blessing. We should not think, oh, why is he chastising? It is a blessing actually, it is for our benefit. So Krishna chastised him, and Krishna said, Ashochayan anva shochastam pragya vadam shabhasase. So while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Many times we see there are a lot of learned people, PhD scientists, they are very learned, but they are grieving, they are mourning for very small things, and which is not worthy of grief. So, and then the Lord also chastised Arjuna and said, Kutashtva kashmalam idam vishame samupasthita. My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? What is the reason? So the spiritual master asked these questions. Was your association bad, or are you reading some unauthorized text? Because how has these impurities come upon you? Because Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport of the prayers of Queen Kunti, he says that, Shravanti Gayanti, and just by hearing and chanting the names of Krishna, you can see Krishna. Then he asked this question in the purport himself. Then why don't people see Krishna? It is said in Bhagavatam that you can see Krishna by doing this. And then he explains, people are not able to see Krishna because they are reading unauthorized texts. There are unauthorized versions of the Bhagavad-gītā and scriptures. So that is what he says. So such was the intimate relationship between the Pandavas and Krishna. And we see that a spiritual master is also like a very good friend. When Srila Prabhupada, he was asked by a reporter, when he became very famous, and a lot of famous people like musicians and stars, they started following Srila Prabhupada. One of them was Allen Ginsberg. He was a very, very famous personality in the world of music and poetry. And Srila Prabhupada was once asked by a reporter that, are you the guru of Allen Ginsberg? So Srila Prabhupada could have very easily said, yes, I am the guru. But Srila Prabhupada answered very humbly. He said, I am the servant of everyone. I am nobody's guru. So that is the quality of a spiritual master. He doesn't think, he never surpasses his spiritual master. And Srila Prabhupada also used to say that all of you have actually been sent by my spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj, So I should serve you. Prabhupada would single-handedly cook samosas and feast and everything and wash the vessels in the 26nd Avenue. Dravida Prabhu was there at that time in New York. Not after that, okay. And it was so amazing. And the spiritual master always, connects the devotees, the disciples, to all the devotees and Vaishnavas. When we chant this Mangalacharan, we send Guru Vaishnavamscha, Guru and all the Vaishnavas, we pay obeisances to them. I recently came across a video where Maharaj was giving initiation to Jugal Kishore Prabhu, and during the initiation, Maharaj says that this initiation is a package. Maharaj said that the association of devotees is also very, very important to continue with our spiritual life. So the spiritual master gives us everything that is required to progress in our spiritual life and go back home, back to Godhead. And we can consider this concept of Krishna and Guru through a power station, powerhouse. So basically you see in a powerhouse there is a very high voltage, and from there the current and voltage is coming. It goes to the substation and it goes to the houses. We can consider the substations as the Acharya, the Gurus. And to our individual houses, it is like where we need the power, all the, to each and every living entity, it is going. And that voltage of the powerhouse is a very high voltage. But what we receive at our home is little less voltage. So Krishna is supremely Vibhu, very big in quantity, and we are Anu, we are small living entity. So we receive, some of that current, but we have the same quality, Satchidananda, same quality, but different quantity. So, and the employees that are working for that powerhouse are like all the preachers, like all of you who are sitting here, and we are responsible. The responsibility of the employees is to preach, to make sure that everybody is getting the electricity in their houses. So, and when the employees cooperate together and they make sure that the powerhouse is running properly, imagine this temple as Radha Giridhari's temple as the powerhouse. So all of us are functioning together so that whoever is coming here, they can receive the mercy, that current of Sri Krishna nicely. And when we cooperate together, all the employees work together, then we will be able to distribute the current to more and more houses. So that is our responsibility as the, as our connection to Krishna through the Guru Parampara, by the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And one of the important aspects, somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, what is the essence of all these scriptures? I do not have so much time to read all these scriptures, the Vedas, the Puranas, and Srila Prabhupada quoted this verse, Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru, tasyati kathitam yartha prakashante mahatmana. If you have implicit faith in the Guru and Krishna, then all the purports of the scriptures are revealed to you within the heart. Just by having faith in Guru and Krishna, everything will be revealed to us. And Guru and Krishna, obviously, they point us towards chanting the holy name sincerely and hearing. And chanting is a science. Chanting is such a special thing that when we chant, when we connect to Krishna through the holy name, Nama Chintamani Krishnas Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purno Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinatva Nama Namino. It is Purno Shuddho. It is fully pure. Nitya Mukto. It can liberate us from all the anxieties, all the problems of this world. And Abhinatva Nam Nama. It is non-different than the named. So the name is non-different than the name. So Krishna and Krishna's name are non-different. And chanting is something where we try to give the highest priority among all the spiritual activities. Obviously try to get up sometimes early in the morning and chant and focus. And while we are doing this, there are a lot of weapons of technological weapons that aggravate our distraction, which is the weapons of mass distractions, especially the cellular phones. I was chanting, one of our devotees visited, and both of us were chanting together in the morning. And we were sitting and we finished whole chanting, and after the chanting, he said, do you know one thing? I said, what? He said, this is the first time in so many years I chanted without a phone. I said, amazing. Because he was just visiting, he had left his phone in the home and we were chanting like outside in the front yard, in the fresh air, and it was so nice. I said, yeah, that's really nice. So And that's the reason many of the devotees, or even people in this, who are non-devotees, they are turning to like regular cellular phones. They don't want any smartphones. They are going for dumb phones. There's so much of distraction. So many apps, pinging, notification, refreshing every 5 seconds. What's on your Instagram or Twitter, and what is the stock market doing, and how are your stocks doing, and emails, and WhatsApp, whatnot. So we are connecting to all these external apps. Every 5 seconds the refresh is there. These companies are working to increase the performance, the efficiency of delivering the data and everything. We are connected to. What about connecting to ourselves, to Krishna within us, the Paramatma within us? We are not refreshing that every 5 seconds. We are refreshing maybe every 24 hours, or maybe less than that. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Always chanting the glories. That is what Krishna is saying. Only then we can actually relish and see Krishna and taste the nectar of the holy names that are there. So when we uncover that love of Krishna, and we actually can reciprocate that love to others. Generally it is said that thou shalt love thy neighbors, thou shalt love thy neighbors. You should love your neighbors as thyself, as yourself. But how is that possible? Is it just a statement you artificially try to do that? Unless we connect to ourselves, unless we connect to Krishna, we have that love within ourselves, the love of Krishna we receive in our heart. When our heart is full, only then we can distribute that love to others. Otherwise, we cannot do that. So to the degree we are receiving that love, to that degree we can extend that love to so many people. Srila Prabhupada extended that love to so many thousands and thousands of devotees. Few years back when I came to this temple, I was so happy to be here. I loved Maharaj's classes whenever he will speak, and I always used to come on Sundays to hear. And one day one person, he donated a large amount to the temple. I said, I never saw somebody donating such a big amount. And later I went to him and asked, how are you inspired, for Krishna consciousness donating this? He said, I met Srila Prabhupada in 1970. And till now I remember him. And that is the reason I am, making this big donation. So Srila Prabhupada, although he is not physically present, he is still inspiring so many people. He is running the temples with his inspiration, encouragement through his books, through his words, through his behavior. He is an acharya, through his love, through his compassion. His heart is so much full with love that the drops of those love are still there. Those are here in this temple. And we see that, Srila Prabhupada, he distributed so much mercy to the whole world. And because he received that mercy in his heart by worshipping Krishna, he was the spiritual master. He didn't think, oh, I am a spiritual master, nothing will happen to me, I am the best, and others are inferior to me. He never thought like that. Every morning when Govindam Adipurusham prayers were going on, Srila Prabhupada would pray. And one disciple asked one time, Srila Prabhupada, what are you praying for? Srila Prabhupada said that I am praying to Krishna that please help me so that I do not fall down. So, we chant for 30, 40 years and we think, oh, I am the best, I will never fall down. But it's not like Srila Prabhupada is praying like, Dravida Prabhu told me one day, even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prays like that. Huh? Did I say that? Yeah. So even great devotees, so a great devotee is one who thinks he is not great. Ordinary people think they are extraordinary. But extraordinary people think they are very, very ordinary. So that is the power of humility. It can melt people's heart, it can melt Krishna's heart, and it can take us to great heights. Even in the corporate world, they say that you have to do constant learning. If you think that your bucket is full, then probably you are not the right fit. You have to always keep learning and keep thinking that, in Google, when they invented Google, on the front page they said, stay hungry, stay foolish.
I'm not so sure we agree with that. Explain what you mean.
Stay hungry means always stay hungry for knowledge, always keep acquiring knowledge. And stay foolish means don't think that you are the best, you know everything. Listen to others' opinion also, and don't think you are the best. So yeah, with these, so these are few things which I wanted to share. And the last line again I want to repeat. In the same way, a pure devotee of the Lord is always with Krishna through thick and thin. His way of life is Krishna. So whether there are difficulties or whatever challenges we are going through, we focus on the growth and we deal with the darkness. Sorry, I forgot. Just before this, I wanted to share about Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. There is one pastime. Recently, there was Brahmotsav of the Chowpatty temple in India. And His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was sharing this pastime of Shyam Sundar Prabhu. Shyam Sundar Prabhu visited last year to the temple, and he spoke that few minutes away from the temple, like in 1970, 50 years back, Srila Prabhupada came to give a lecture there, and he spoke to dignitaries. Chowpatty temple. Yeah. He came to Mumbai, and he, not 70s, sometime in 70s, I don't remember exactly.
He was visiting the
Bharati Vidya. Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
end of the road.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, exactly. I forgot that. Thank you for Bharati Vidya Bhavan. Okay. He was
giving a talk.
Yeah, he was giving a talk, right. You want to share that pastime, Maharaj? You can share. Give the mic to Maharaj. No, Maharaj. No, please, Maharaj. I would like to hear from you. Yeah.
So Shyam Sundar was visiting Radhanath Maharaj at the Chowpatty temple. And in the morning, they were walking around chanting japa, walking around the neighborhood, just getting a little fresh air, a little exercise. Shyama Sundar came around the corner, walked past the Bharata Vidya Bhavan, which is a big, a nice hall for. So he came past with Radhanath Maharaj, looked down the street toward, and was shocked. He said, I was standing here in whatever the year was. Prabhupada spoke, came out, swung his cane, pointed down the road and said, there will be a temple here.
Haribol.
And there's the temple.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Maharaj. I couldn't have explained so nicely. Thank you. So Prabhupada could see, he also pointed to so many different temples like in Mayapur and Kanpur and so many. So he already knows. Mike.
Prabhupada says when he used to visit Bombay on business, he would sometimes pass where our Juhu temple is. And in those days, it's just a fishing village and palm trees and coconut trees. And Prabhupada said, this would make such a nice place for a temple. This would make such a nice, because it's right by Juhu Beach. So then, and Prabhupada said, many years later, obviously, Prabhupada was there looking for land for a temple, and that same piece of property. Prabhupada said, Krishna has been saving it and just waiting for us to come pick it up.
Amazing. Thank you, Maharaj.
I'll tell you another one.
Sure. Yes.
And we'll wrap up. The Detroit temple, the Fisher Mansion, built by that guy, whatever, Body by Fisher, head of GM, Cadillac Motors, multi-millionaire. Govardhan showed Prabhupada that, well, let's just say this much. When you walk into it, it was designed like a Italian villa. And when you walked into what used to be the ballroom, for the ballroom dancing, there were 3 arches where the orchestra used to sit behind. 2 small, 1 main altar, arch. In there, in the arches, was carved elephants, peacocks, lotus flowers. It was built in the 30s. So all this stuff was, and so many things like that. And Prabhupada said the same thing. Prabhupada said this building, Krishna has engaged this rich man in building this building, and it has simply been waiting for us to come and pick it up.
Wow.
And everything was there. It was laid out just like a temple room. Arches. Now we put the deities behind that. The temple room was here.
Amazing.
Prabhupada liked it very much.
Yeah. So fascinating.
Prabhupada's alone in New York City, talking with Mr. Forrester at Scindia Ship Lines. Prabhupada said, I'm not a poor man. He was coming every so often to see when the next ship leaves for India. After several times, Mr. Foster said, I don't think you're going back to India. Prabhupada said, no, but it gives me some satisfaction thinking I could. Because it was a difficult time for Prabhupada. It wasn't easy. So Prabhupada's talking with Mr. Forrester, and Prabhupada says, I am not a poor man. He said, I have temples. I have books.
Wow.
I have followers. It's in Lidamrita. Prabhupada said, only time is separating.
Jai. Amazing.
Prabhupada's not an ordinary person.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Any comments or question from anyone? Online, anyone? All right, thank you. Maharaj, would you like to speak something more? Okay. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai.